Putting an in-home theater can mean shelling out some big bucks. From the lighting to the custom seats, even popcorn machines. Many movie lovers go into it knowing that it could be spending a pretty penny for their very own theater getaway in their home.
But for one customer, it meant paying thousands up front to a company that ultimately shut its doors. After numerous complaints filed to the Better Business Bureau, In Focus investigators got to the bottom of what happened and were working to make things right between a customer out thousands and a company once known for great service. Jim Fraley is no stranger to big orders. He's run Design Tech Electronics in Waldorf for more than 20 years. They design and install wiring systems for everything from intercoms to central cleaning systems to home offices and theaters. So when a customer asked him to put together an in-home theater, it was business as usual.
This is certainly not, the fault of my customer, so I have to make that good. It was my decision and what I did, so I had to pony up the money in order to be able to get the seats.
Fraley says he ponied up $13,500 for custom theater chairs from Stargate Cinemas, a company once claiming to be the home theater seating and decor experts.
When they think they're going to get the money, they're your best friend, and like I had mentioned, that she was very attentive, and obviously I know why now.
Fraley says the customer service was great. Quick responses from the company, back and forth emails of the design plans. But he says after he transferred more than 13 grand, weeks passed before he'd hear anything again. And now the company's phone line is disconnected.
After about 7-8 weeks, when you normally would hear something and me not have heard anything, I called them, and that's when I started to get the silence.
I still think
it's a story now familiar to the Better Business Bureau. They have 7 closed complaints on their website, but the BBB says 16 are pending. Many rolled in this summer.
Better Business Bureau had received a couple of complaints on them over the years on shipping delays, malfunction with the product. The company made good faith effort, resolved both of those issues in the past. Nothing was on our radar until these complaints started coming in.
The company had an A+ rating, but their BBB accreditation was revoked on October 24th. They still show the high marks on their site.
They were, one of the top, vendors, suppliers or vendors for them for quite some number of years. And for it to all of a sudden stop, something triggered it, something happened, and I got caught, right at the beginning of it.
A lawyer representing Stargate Cinemas and its owner confirms the company went out of business, but she says their #1 concern is that no customer gets hurt. She says they're working to reimburse customers what they paid. The Better Business Bureau says the company reached out to them on December 3rd, confirming they closed their doors. The company provided a statement saying in part, "We want to make all customers whole and refunded if we owe anyone money at this time. This is a priority of ours despite us closing our doors." Fraley says he shelled out an additional 10 grand to a separate company to get the chairs his customer was waiting on.
Now it's just this lingering loose end that I got to try and work through and see if there's any way that I could be able to salvage any of the monies that I've already prepaid.
In Focus investigators put Fraley in contact with Stargate Cinema's lawyer in hopes of resolving the issue.
I just lost track of the fundamentals and, the honesty and what you would assume that people, bring to the table. And in this instance, that didn't happen, and, now it's hurting my back pocket.
We passed along documents that show a payment of $13,500. Stargate Cinema's lawyer is working to confirm if the company received this money and whether or not the customer ever received the merchandise. We found a whole list of complaints online and on Stargate Cinema's Facebook page, many sounding very similar to Fraley's. The BBB says having a company go from being accredited with an A+ rating down to an F is very rare. After the company reached out to the BBB on December 3rd, they took off the F rating altogether to give them a chance to resolve any previously reported complaints. The BBB tells us Stargate Cinema had a record of being a great company, and before any business is accredited, the BBB reviews their licensing, workman's comp, and registrations. You can find the full statement Stargate Cinemas gave to the BBB on our website. That's at abc2news.com/infocus.